So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the workshop on day 3 program. I believe everybody settled down and my audio is also reaching perfectly. Can somebody confirm, please?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me first share my screen. So I believe you must have practiced well with day 1, day 2, whatever the takeaways and the case studies we discussed. And you got to hang on those topics and you can start implementing the same at your workplace. No issues. So as discussed today, we are going to start with some huge volume of data when it is coming up from our SAP or ERP when you download or somebody send it across to you, then how to deal with the same and how to process our data and how to analyze the data like a professional and present it effectively to the audience. So go to our sample case studies folder. There is a file called data analysis. Sorry, data analysis. So when you open the file, you would be landing up with a sheet called summary table. So kindly confirm that you have got the same worksheet and file open in front of the screen.
Yes, Prabhas.
Yeah. Now, let me take you through the data first. Let me put it in a scenario format so that everybody can connect with it and the objective, what exactly it is, we'll have a focus on that. And then we start working together. Suppose say morning 9 o'clock, I come to office, my boss immediately asked me, Pravas, please come to my cabin. I need to discuss something with you. I went in. Then immediately he started saying that Pravas, I was going through our monthly reports, whatever we are submitting to the management. It seems the quality of information is missing over there. And it seems that some ready-made numbers we have downloaded from SAP and furnishing the reports and sending it as it is to the people. And in fact, in the last meeting when I was there, none of the audience were quite happy watching our reports. So let's do something different this time. So what he wants to make it different, what is up to, let's discuss that first. He is telling, do one thing, just log into your SAP and get me last 3 years revenue data. So when I logged in, I just gave my T code, I downloaded a report and the data set comes near about 1 lakh records in this format. Like we have got name of the customers and these are the different product types we are producing. And these are the different car models over here. So basically I will say one line. This is of the data of a car manufacturing plant naming called Tata Motors. And you would have heard of this model, so it's nothing new for you. Now, these are the salesmen we have engaged to generate the revenue. And these are the different regions we export our products. Order date is billing date or invoice date you can consider. Then our sales in US dollar or INR, we are making the billing, whichever you feel you can comfortably take it. Year of increments of sale, month, quarter, and intermediate channel partner, if any, that name is also available. So it's a huge data if you see. Now, when I shared this data to my boss, he's saying, Travas, this is of no use for me. Do one thing, keep it with you. Just get me a simple report out of this. What is the report? During last 3 years, whatever the products we have sold, how much money we have made, I want a simple report out of this. So we know we have a huge volume of data and we want to summarize our data and we want to place it in a tabular format or crispy presentation. We have to make it. So in that case, we have a beautiful data summarizing tool called pivot table or pivot table. You can call anything, no problem. But the problem is we never pay attention whether our data is ready for pivot table. So going forward, we are not going to commit that mistake. So remember one thing, whenever you are thinking to prepare a pivot table out of any sort of data in Excel, you must satisfy 3 validation rules. Rule number 1, the data must contain a field header. Without field header, column header, pivot is not possible. If you do not have the column header, you have to give it column 1, column 2, column 3, and so on. And none of the column header names should be duplicate. So If you have a duplicate again, pivot will not work properly and duplicate column will not be responded. So you should have the unique column header names. Now, rule number two, the amount of data, whatever we have captured, there should not be any blank cells at all. So how to confirm there is a blank cell? So if you remember, in day two, we discussed something called go to our data clean one. So let's work together. Keep your cursor anywhere in the data and go for Control A and then Control G. Go to dialog box will appear where you can have the option called special. So when you see the special tab, it will take you to your go to special and there we have a option called blanks. So when you select blanks and click OK, can you see you are getting a message? No cells were found. So it's a simple confirmation for us that we do not have any blanks at all. Okay, this is the best practice you can do. And if at all blanks were there in picture, then that we could have replaced with 0 hyphen nil not available, and then we could have completed the task. So rule number two, we have to ensure there is no blanks at all. So hope you are getting the same. Kindly confirm. When you select your data, Control A, Control G, special, blanks, OK. Did you receive the message? No cells found. All right, so Miss Andrea has confirmed. How about others?
Yes, yes, Prabhas.
Okay, great. Yes, Tidnun, status please. Suvendu, okay, great. Devi also got it. Fine. Now, rule number three, ensure that in any of the column, the data should not be merged. So we should not have any merged data in any of the columns because when you have the merged data, we have a very bad practice. What we do now? We just select multiple cells, we merge it and we define a header to that. So that is just for the display, not for the calculations, because most of our Excel functionalities doesn't read our merged data. So it is always better avoid using your merged cells and always work with your flat data so that any type of calculations, formula, functions, dashboard, anything you want, you can design out of that. All right. So now this is our third rule. There should not be any merged cells over there inside the data set. Now, having said this, our data is ready for next level. But if you remember, I told you in day two of our training, whenever you download the data from SAP or ERP, there are two areas you will be always finding the trouble. What are they? Number column will not be in number format and the date column will not be in date format. And we have to essentially check those two columns before proceeding further with any kind of actions. So go to our order date column, you see, keep your cursor our first date value and select the rest. All right. Now, how to confirm whether our date is there in proper date format? I told you in day one and day two as well. Any point of time to convert any format to date format. What was the keyboard shortcut? Anybody quickly?
Control Shift 3.
Very good. Control Shift 3. So when you go for Control Shift 3, can you see the set changes are happening? Like, is it coming up with a proper readable date format? So it is a simple message. Our date is in proper date format. All right. Similarly, go to our sales USD column. Keep your cursor in the first sales value and select the rest. Now you tell me over here how to confirm whether our numbers are there in proper number format. I told you one more keyboard shortcut to convert any format to number. What it was?
Control Shift, the tilde.
No, Control Shift 1. Control Shift tilde for general. So Control Shift 1. So this is the only reason why I was keep on telling in day 2 itself, please practice well. Otherwise you will forget. All these things, it is very much needed, whatever you have learned in day 1, day 2 in your routine activities. So can you see that now? When I'm asking something, I'm not getting the reply. Hardly one or two. Anyway, so this changes are happening again with the numbers. You could see there is a decimal, post decimal, 2 characters. Before decimal, we have comma separators. All these changes are happening because our numbers are there in proper number format. So this is how the quite easiest way to confirm whether our two columns, whether it is there in proper format or not. But now in this number column, if you see the sales USD, post decimal, 2 zeros are there. It is not having any value. So let's remove that. Why unnecessarily will increase the character length? And to remove the same, you can do either Alt H9 and Alt H9 twice. Otherwise, going to home, you can go for decrease decimal. So choice is yours, whichever it is comfortable for you. You can go for this, not a problem. Now, number column also, we confirmed it's in proper number format. Perfect. Now our data is ready for next level. But here in our data set, if you look at very closely located, it is having still one problem. I'll show you what is the problem. Just see. I'm highlighting the columns where the problem is there. Just look at the same and tell me what is the problem we have.
Sorting. It is not sorted.
No, just see.
Yeah.
In order date, it is having the year 2019, but here it is showing 2014. In order date, month is showing Jan, but it is showing some different months over here. So this is what the problem area. So let us go and rectify the same. Now keep your cursor in your first year value. And now the question is how to extract a year from a date. What is the formula we used in day 1? There is a ready-made year formula we have in Excel. We can take it and what it was demanding, serial number. Serial number is nothing but order date. And the moment I hit enter, it will be returning me the year from the date. And the same I can apply for others. Double click on the fill handle. And this is how we have understood how to extract a year from a date and rectify the year column. Right? Hope it is working. All right. Now coming back to month column. So how to extract a month from a date? I told you a formula naming called text. So going to text formula, when you ask, it is asking me the value. Value is nothing but my order date, comma. Now it is asking format text. So what is the format we need to follow? Like we are expecting the month, we should define within two double inverted quotes M4 times and we'll be getting the result. Now the same we can apply for others and we got our month column rectified. So this is how people we have understood what are the necessary checks to be done before proceeding further with our pivot table. Just check it out, confirm all these things are working fine. All right, so now I believe everyone is clear so far, whatever we have done and how to proceed whenever we need to check while preparing a pivot table, what are the areas and how to confirm all everything is working fine. Okay, now what's the next step? Keeping your cursor anywhere in the data, go for Control A and convert your data into table. So I told you in day one itself, what is the shortcut to convert your data into table? Anybody?
Control T or Control L.
Very good. So go for that, Control T or Control anything, and go and click OK. So when you click OK, you can see your data is converted into table, and this is must. If you do not do so, a lot of features would be missing, and you have to go for duplication of work. So this is how people first 2 to 5 minutes is very much essential when you are working with any type of data and you are looking for to convert the same into a pivot table. Now, having said this, keep your cursor anywhere in the data and go to insert. The very first option you will be finding called pivot table. Do not navigate with that button. Don't go for this navigation. Just click on that icon. There are two sections. Just see. There are two sections over here. This is called your navigation section. Don't click that. Okay. Always click this icon section. Why is it like this? The reason is when you go for navigation and select a table to go for a pivot table, some of the features will be missing for you. And later you will be finding trouble. Then again, you have to go back and start work from the beginning. So rather doing that, what I suggest is go for this icon sections to click. So when I go and click this icon, you can see a dialog box appears stating that this entire data is forming part of a table and where you want to prepare a pivot in the new worksheet, let it be, do not change that. Now click OK, you will be finding a new Excel sheet is generated and there is a gray colored box area over here. And this is the area where pivot table is going to design. And within that, if you see, we have an option in the gray color box naming called pivot table one. So this is a message for us that each and every pivot table, whenever you design or create, it will contain a unique name like this. And towards my right side, if you see, there is a table over here in a column, complete entire column list or the column headers are listed. This is called pivot table field list box. And towards my right side, if you look at, there are small boxes kind of structures are there. These are called pivot table field area. So we have only one job now. We need to take the fields, whichever we are looking for in the pivot table, and simply just drag and drop, drag and drop, and drag and drop, and over here, drag and drop. This is the only action we need to do. But before proceeding further and doing this drag and drop, if you look at one major problem is my layout is not matching with yours. Do you agree? Whatever this right side layout is there, is it matching with yours?
No, it is not.
No. But when you compare, which one is giving enough space to work with?
You are.
Definitely. So let's go and bring that changes first. This is a one-time change. You can see there is a gear button called settings. This is a settings button, and you can click on that. The very second option you'll be finding field section and area section side by side. And when you go for it over here, click and the same order or same setup, same layout you will be getting on your window. This is just one-time action and confirm all of you have got the same setup.
Yes.
Right. Now, as I told you, we have only one option left to drag and drop. Well, we can drag and drop, but where to drop? We have got four different choices. So there is also a rule we need to follow in this is there is a sigma value option is there. All right. So in this, it's a simple message. Whichever the column you are dealing with numbers and you want to bring it to pivot table, you can keep it in the value field area. Reason? If you bring it to the value field area, you can play around with your functional calculations like sum, count, average, product, minimum, maximum, all these things. It's possible only if you bring it over here. So let's go for the report what my boss was asking. Last 3 years revenue data. Revenue data means billing column. Billing column means sales USD. Is it containing numbers? Yes. Bring that in the value field area. Always follow the procedure of drag and drop. Do not go for the direct checkbox to on. All the time it will not go to the desired place. So it's better always have a control by simply dragging and drop. If you do not like, then just go and simply deactivate the checkbox. Okay. So since we are looking for sales USD, I have dragged and dropped it. Now last 3 years data, we have a year column. You can bring it to the columns area. So you'll be finding 3 different years data is populating. So is it necessary that I should bring it to year? Can I take it to rows? Yes, I can take it to rows, but the setup will be something different. So since I have taken into year into columns, reason is nothing but we have got something else to bring it to the rows. But there is no necessity or hard and fast rule that you should always take years into columns. It is based on the need. Now, coming back to the next, based on what last 3 years data boss is expecting based on the product. So whatever the products we have sold, so we have a product description column. You can take that and bring it to the rows. So this is how you see we have got a very beautiful report ready, having the total as 3199253. Can you confirm?
Yes.
Right. Now, pivot is ready, but this pivot table is not ready for dispatch. Reason? As I have been telling you since day one, though you prepare your present your data in Excel, but little bit careful about your presentation part because that makes you different and that gives more add-on to the data. So here, though we have a pivot table having the summary format of last 3 years data of all the products, but the look and feel of pivot is not so great. So how to make it? Keeping your cursor in the pivot, if you look at on your ribbon tab, in the extreme right, there is one design tab will be activated. You can see. And in this design, if you click on, you will be finding there over here multiple styles, and you can go for the more button. It opens in three broad categories: light, medium, and dark. I told you in day one itself, always go for light or medium. Do not go for the dark options. And what is the reason behind that? Why not to up dark options? Anybody?
File size.
Very good. So the more the dark colors, always file size will be more. So let's go for a medium over here. And when you select it, you can notice that was somewhat looking great or better than the previous version, no doubt. Now, though we made it over here, just say this Bolt, Genix Nano, Hexa, these all are our products. But the header, if you look at, it shows as row labels. And this 21, 2020, 2019, all this, these are our years, but it shows us column labels. So this is what the major drawback of pivot. It always takes its own generic name like this. It doesn't take the exact field name of our pivot table data. So here again, we have to rectify and how to get that. Do not ever edit the fields manually. Our experts, they will suggest you don't worry, just change the field manually. Don't do that. Now you can see the impact, but tomorrow when you learn Excel VBA macro to automate your report and you are going to work with pivot table, the macro on click, the macro will stop. Reason, you have changed the pivot table field name over here. So how to get it then? Keeping your cursor in the pivot, go to same design tab in the extreme right, and from the left, third option deals with your report layout. So when you go to report layout, with there you have an option called show in tabular form. And when you go for the show in tabular form with immediate effect, exactly the same field name is going to be populated in your pivot table, whatever we have. Can you see that? Right? So formatting is also coming proper, no issues. Now, once we have made this over here, take a look. If you remember, I told you in day one itself, when you have multiple columns in place, the latest style of data presentation, what it says, the first column alignment always has to be left, and rest of the columns alignment has to be always center. And to make it center, what is the shortcut? Anybody? Alt H
Alt H AC.
AC. So go for it, Alt H AC, or if you're not comfortable, go for Home, centrally aligned. This is our second formatting. Now, once we have done with this over here, then as I told you in day one and day two as well, that when you present your data to the audience, nowadays the audience is having a different level of expectation. What is that? Now, when you present it, ensure that your data speaks a beautiful story to the people. So how to present our data in a beautiful story format? Keeping your cursor anywhere in the grand total column, right click on that and go for sort largest to smallest and see a beautiful story turns up. What is that? From the entire product, from Indica, we got the maximum revenue, and from Jest, we got the least revenue. So whoever is watching my data, even if a layman is also sitting in the audience side, they can make out. And even if I absence one of my teammate is presenting the data in the meeting, people are not going to struggle about it. The data itself speaking a beautiful story. So this is how we have understood how to design or create our pivot table, satisfying all the rules, doing the necessary checks, converting the data into table, bringing the pivot, doing the necessary formattings, and finally presenting the data in a beautiful story format. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. All clear? Fine. Now, you can notice just on watch my screen, I have got sheet one. Okay. Now here, what I'm suggesting is just rename the sheet as the way I'm doing pivot, bracket open, one, bracket close, no space. Just type as it is the way I'm typing pivot, bracket open, bracket unclose over here. And we got our first pivot table ready over there. Now, once this is done, now do one thing, just watch my screen. Keep your cursor in pivot one sheet tab, the place where you have written pivot one, there you have to take your cursor and just hold your control button and just drag it to the right. You will be seeing a plus symbol in the mouse pointer when you drag it, holding the control button. It will generate one more pivot table and automatically the name comes as pivot 2. Kindly confirm.
Yes.
Well, how about others? All of you are getting pivot 2,
Yes.
right? Now, once we have done with this over here, then next, let's see what else we can do with regard to pivot table. Stay focused. We have presented last 3 years data to my boss. The boss is quite happy and he's saying this pattern is really good, taking last 3 years data in 3 columns, all the products in the rows. It is very easy to analyze. Thank you so much. But what I'm looking for is I just want to go for deep dive analysis on the same or macro level of analysis on that. So what is the meaning by deep dive analysis or macro level of analysis is year-wise data is given. Boss definitely would be expecting month-wise data as well. So first thing first, we need to check, do we have a field called month in our data? Yes. So our job is easy. Now we have to take it to the right field area. So when I take month to the row area, can you see my entire pivot structure changes, right? So simply checking the field over here, I could see my entire pivot story changes. So one thing over here, you have to make a note of this people that whenever you are taking multiple fields, you have to ensure that what kind of story your pivot is going to convey to the audience. If they're happy watching that, then you can retain as it is. Else you have to keep trying with the different combinations. Then over here, take a look. This report, whatever we have prepared, just let's go and check whether my boss is going to be happy watching that. He was asking last 3 years data. Did I give it? Yes. He was expecting month-wise data also to be provided. Did I give? Yes. But as an audience, if I see the larger picture, my data, no doubt all this information is there, but it is still playing the primary role on the product description, or product description column is still emphasized over here. And my boss has never emphasized on that column. So this kind of data, when I'm preparing, though I have even all the data, but it is not going to meet the expectations from the other side. Then how to match? Say, month is there, no doubt, but it is secondary. Product is primary. Okay. So go to that row area where product description, you see the very first field is there. That one you simply drag it below to the month, or the other way, take month above to the product, whichever it is comfortable for you. Now you see the whole story changes. So no doubt 3 years data is there, but along with that, month becomes primary and product description becomes secondary. So this is how, simply interchanging the field, the whole pivot story changes that we have witnessed. Check it out. Any questions?
It's not showing.
Sorry,
So my option for pivot table is not showing.
pivot table, this field option is not coming up.
Yes, exactly, sir.
Okay, you can right click on pivot. In the bottom, you see what is the option you have?
1 second. Select all set.
No, 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 no. Keeping your cursor in the pivot table anywhere, if you right click on the pivot table, in the bottom, what is that option you find?
Link.
What you just share your screen, let me see what is the problem.
Okay, sir.
Keep your cursor in the pivot, click anywhere in the pivot table. It is coming up. All right, so I'm taking the control back. I mean, you take this month first, go for that month. Take month into rows. Month column, drag it and put it in rows. Yes. Now interchange the field. Bring product description below to month. Bring no, 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 no. Already you have in rows product description. That only you have to bring it below to month. Yes. Now it is working, right? All right, so I'm taking the control back on the screen and here. Now, no doubt we got our pivot ready, but the problem would be you would notice when you look at your data set, there are many more places we have got blanks. Can you see that? So definitely people will ask a lot of questions why there are so many blanks. See, when we prepared our pivot table, there was no blanks we confirmed. But when you prepare pivot table over here at the output level, you may have blanks. So it's a simple message. Why there's a blank? Because there is no such kind of combinations of data. In 2019, in the month of January, with regard to Jest, we have never raised a single invoice. It's a simple message, but people can't understand in that way. They will ask questions and they will keep bothering us. Then what we need to do? We need to deal with these blanks. What we need to do? We need to replace these blanks with some kind of predefined text, either zero, hyphen, nil, not available. Then only we can stop people asking unwanted questions. But how to do that? Take a look. Just keep your cursor anywhere in the pivot table and go for right click on that. And when you go for right click, we have an option over here from the bottom second one, pivot table options, pivot table options. And when you click this pivot table options, it will take you through a dialog box, something like this. And there you can notice in that window, we have a very beautiful option for empty cells show. One box is there. In that box, whatever you want, you can type, but I would suggest go for zero. Since we are dealing with numbers, go for zero. And the moment you go for zero and click OK, with immediate effect, you will be finding in the entire pivot table, wherever the zeros are there, all are filled with, I mean, the blank cells all are filled with zero, right? So this is how the best practice what you can follow to deal with your blanks. Do not go for copy paste special value, pivot table role will be lost. All right, so I believe it's working.
Yes.
Now, so how to deal with our pivot table blank cells? Those things we are clear. Now we'll go and check the next. Look at my pivot table, try to understand what is the next ask may be. Suppose say I have presented all these things to my boss. He started operating with that. Okay. Then he has got to focus on the month area. So when he's looking at the product one by one and is listening to the last product, Tiago, he is unable to make out which month that product is pertaining to or belong to. Again, he has to look back in the beginning, then only he realizes that it is of Jan month product. So in this case, he's not satisfied whatever we are doing it. He's telling Prabhas, why don't you just fill the month column with the month names so that irrespective of any data, any row item, wherever I'm working with, I could make out this is of XYZ month. So how to just replace all the blanks with that month name? We cannot do it with one shot or one go. We have to do for multiple times, and that is really time consuming. So in that case, what you can do, keep your cursor anywhere in the data. Then going to our design tab, okay? In design, you have a report layout. Yes. In this report layout, we have an option called repeat all item labels. And check it out the moment you click it. Is it just being applied over there? Yes. So this is how it is pretty easy in Pivot, but in the real time, when you go for the normal Excel sheet data, we have to struggle a lot, isn't it? Like we have to select all the blanks first, then we have to go for equal to previous cell, control enter. The other day, day two, we did for dealing with the blanks, if you remember. But here in Pivot, it is very easy. So if you have any queries, do let me know. Is it working?
Yes.
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 Shubhendu, clear? Devi?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the moment we have done with this, let's see what else we can do with regard to Pivot. Okay. Now, Pivot 2 is ready. I'll simply go for Pivot 2 Sheet tab, holding the control button. I will drag it to the right. Pivot 3 will come. Now, once you have pivot table number 3, let's discuss what else we can do. Say, this is what I have presented to my boss. My boss is saying, Prabhas, this pattern is really good. Last 3 years data in 3 columns, month is there in 1 column, but I'm done with the product. So pattern rules remain the same, but I'm expecting now The data should be focused on the customers. So instead of product description, here the customer name should appear. My boss is expecting. So first thing first, which is unwanted? Product description. So in the field list box, product description checkbox is there. You can deactivate, which is unwanted. First we remove it. Then what was his requirement? Which column who he is looking for or he is wishing to focus?
Customer.
We do have that. Yes, customer is there.
Yes.
That
First.
you bring it to the rows. So when you bring it to the rows with immediate effect, similar layout, whatever we had, but now the entire story is focusing on the customer part. So this is how simply interchanging the fields, removing the fields, taking new combinations. You have to keep trying with your real-time data and you have to play around, and whichever the pattern, whichever the layout is giving the exact feel of the message to the audience, you have to always keep presenting in that way. So that comes out of your experience. There's no hard and fast tool or Microsoft has designed any kind of tutorial for that. If you're in accounts, take this setup. If you're in marketing, take this setup. It is all about us to do or work along with it. So far it is clear. Any questions from anybody? Yes, Titnan, are you with me? All right. Feel free to ask. Don't skip it. Okay. One-time practice is very much essential in the training. Later, you can practice looking at the video recordings, not an issue. But one time you need to understand how and where the things are, which option, which features I should use it. And you have to also connect with the story what I am creating. Now, having said this, now take a look at my screen. No need to do one thing over here. My first customer is Al Hamid Automobiles. My boss started working with 2019 data. Al Hamid Automobiles, January, no business. So he scrolled down Feb, some business is there, good sign. March, no name at all, so no sign of business at all. April, again, name is there, but there is no business in the month of, in the year of 2019 and April month, no business is there. So similarly, he wants to analyze the data for entire whole year of 12 months records. Then he has to scroll down 12 times. Can you see that? So this is what nobody's interested in doing the job like this. So my boss is also not happy with doing that. So what he's saying me, try to understand, he's saying, Prabhas, you have created the things, no doubt, but it is not giving a comfort zone to work with. So why don't you do one thing? Why don't you make a report in very simple way? Whenever I open the file, I should have the entire story. I no need to go for navigating a lot. I no need to go for scrolling a lot. And the report will be ready with you speaking a beautiful story. But how to make it? Well, in that case, just see, keeping your cursor in the pivot table, we have our month field in the row area that you take it to the columns. So month, you take it to the columns. And with immediate effect, your pivot story changes. The entire customer name you will be getting in one column. But the problem is how many columns you will be landing up with. Just imagine. Take a look at your own screen and tell me how many columns we have created. Mhm.
40.
41. See on the screen. What is the count showing? Is it showing 41? Right. Now think about it. Having 41 columns of data, how to present it to my boss or to my audience. Now suppose my boss has never seen this. He asked me, Pravas, while coming to my cabin, get me a printout. How will I take a printout of 41 columns? So first of all, can we take a printout or not?
No, it won't come.
Don't come. Why? We have an option called fit to page, right? We can take that.
It will be very tiny.
That is what different story. It will be very tiny and we can't read in the normal eyes. But we can take a print, isn't it? We can. So What is your suggestion? Being a friend of mine, if you want to suggest, can you suggest me something like this? Prabhas, don't worry, take a print and take a magnifying glass with you and give it to your boss and ask him help yourself. Can you suggest me something like this? No way. So there's no point of doing this kind of job, and there's no point of wasting the stationaries like this. So what we have understood, this kind of report, though we have prepared, but it is of no use again. So how to make a precise presentation? Just see. First 1 minute, watch my screen, what I'm doing. Then next 1 minute, I'll be giving time to try with. Just watch my screen. See, in column B, I have a 2019 one cell, correct? I'll just go for right click on that. I'll go for the option naming over here called expand and collapse. And within that, the fourth option, you'll be finding collapse center field. One option is there. And if you click that with immediate effect, the entire 3 years columns data will be clinched just to 3 columns and creating a plus symbol over there. This is called your radio button. So this plus symbol, if you look at, this is called your radio button. And whenever my boss is asking Prabhas, just show me 2021 data, I can simply go and click on this plus symbol and only 2021 data alone is going to be expanded. So what is happening with this? Unwanted data we are not showing to the people, unwanted questions are not going to come. And once my presentation is over, again, I need to go and click this radio button and data will be precisely stored. So see how it is giving a clean picture with precise options. So this is how people we have understood whenever there's a need how to make use of this expand and collapse button and make a precise report presentation. Just check it out. All these things are working. Hmm. Fine. Now, whatever we did so far, it is anybody's job. Anybody can do that. Now think about it. As I have been telling you since day one, always try to make something different or present your data differently so that your report will stand out of the crowd and people will appreciate your work, seeing the difference. So what else we can do to make it even more better, make it more informative? Yes, anybody? Let's see. Let's exercise your brain. I'm nothing asking new. What you have learned, just recall that you have the answer with you.
Data visualization.
Very
Data
good.
bar.
Right. So in our day two, we discuss something how to visualize our data, not by taking the charts and graphs. What are the options? Data bars, icon sets, then spark lines. Able to recall?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
The same thing we are going to do. Take a look. So keep your cursor next to grand total and name the cell as visual. Okay. And to give a feel as if this visual column is the property of our pivot table, keep your cursor in the grand total cell. And when you select grand total in the home tab, do you see an option called a format painter, a paintbrush kind of icon? Click on that and take that icon over here and click on visual cell. So it will be applying the same format, whatever we had in grand total. So this is nothing but just to give a feel. Our visual column is the property of pivot table. Fine. So first step is clear. Second step. Who is our first customer? If you say Al Hamid Automobiles is my first customer, just select only last 3 years data. Okay. Don't select the customer name. Do not select the grand total. Just select only 3 years data. And then go to our insert. We had the other day sparklines of three different types of sparklines we saw. line, column, win or loss, and we dealt with column already, if you recall. So today we are going to deal with the line option. So when you go and click line, it will be asking me a dialog box something like this, asking what is the data? Data is already selected. Then it is asking location. So what is the location you want to define as a spark line? The visual column first cell. You can keep on selection and then go and click OK. So when you click OK, with immediate effect, you'll be getting more or less a line graph kind of options over here. Okay. Now, along with that, you see a Sparkline tab is also being activated in the extreme right of the ribbon. The name might slightly be different. If you're in 2013, name would be options, or somewhere it may be design, or somewhere it may be as Sparkline, depending upon the versions of Microsoft Excel. And then within that, you see one option we have called markers. There is a checkbox called markers. And when you click on this markers option, the checkbox will be on and the pointers also will be added in your line graph. Now, this is happening only with one customer. Now, same we can apply for others by simply dragging it down and see the beauty. The moment you are trying to present it, people will love to see this and this because people don't have time to go through your boring numbers, billions, millions, lakhs, and crores. This line is going to tell the entire story. How? Like if you look at Arya Motors, it is showing a consistent growth. People will love to see that. If you look at over here, in our case of Kunuch Motors and Lexus Motors, compared to last year, this year volume is increasing. It's a good sign from the company perspective. But Malwa Auto, it is going drastically down. So it's a serious issue. We should check it out. What is the reason behind it? But the last 2 years, they were doing good. But compared to last year to this year, the volume is completely down. So this is how people will remember the story, but they will not remember the number and hardly they're interested to see that. So this is how people you can give a add-on to your data and making it more informative. And if necessary, you can take the same to your PowerPoint and present it and giving a different meaning to your slides as well. All right. Just check it out. All these things are working. Any doubt, any queries, do let me know. See, all these things, as I was telling you, nobody will demand. And when you present it from your side, definitely your presentation will stand out of the crowd and people will appreciate your work. Fine. So pivot table number 3, whatever we did, I believe you are clear. Now, take your cursor to pivot 3, holding the control button, drag it to the right. So you got another pivot ready, naming called pivot table number 4. Now, once we have done with this, now this visual column work is over. You can select the way I have selected and go for control minus to delete the whole column. Then keeping your cursor in pivot, Our customer work is over, you can deactivate that. Our month work is over, you can deactivate that. And bring your product description to the row area. The very first pivot table, whatever we had designed, just bring that same structure over here. And once it is ready, do let me know. I will proceed with the next task.
Done.
Okay. How about others?
Done, Prabhas.
Okay, great. Fine. Now take a look. Suppose say this is what I have presented to my boss. My boss is watching my data, no doubt, and he's telling me, Prabhas, this pattern is really good. Last 3 years data in 3 different columns and all the products in rows. But you have given me only 3 years data. What I want is over here, along with this 3 years data, whatever the revenue we have made, I want to check how much incentives we have given. The boss wants to check now revenue versus incentive in the adjacent column, and you want to analyze the data in that way. Well, first thing first, do we have a field called incentive? You can also search if you have many more fields. We have a beautiful search box over here. You can select and go for search even there. So going to incentive, is it there? No. So it is pretty clear now. We do not have a incentive field. So our problem starts there. We do not have the data. Now, take that thing on hold. Suppose in our Tata Motors, we have a global policy. Whatever the revenue we generate, whatever the billing we make, we give 2% uniform discount to all our employees or the salesman or sales agent, whoever it is, helping in boost of the sales. Though they are working in the north, south, east, west, or central zone, whatever the billing they make, they will be entitled for 2% incentive. Okay. So now having said this, suppose I want to create a column in our pivot table naming called incentive. How to do that? Since we do not have the data, we do have a choice. We can go back to our source data. And what is the last column we have? Channel partners. We can go to the next and we can type a new column naming incentive. That we can do. Let's go and start doing that. Now, once we have done with this, then the next step, what you need to do? Formula. What is the formula we discussed? 2% upon our billing column. Billing column means sales USD. So we'll go for equal to, and the billing column over here says sales USD. It will automatically take this format because this is what we have already discussed in day one. This is taking a table format. Fine. Multiply. How many percent is? 2%. And the moment we hit enter, see the beauty. It is not only applying to cell, but also the entire column. So one thing you would have noticed the formatting carried forward and the formula is also being applied for the entire 1 lakh row items. All these things is happening because we have converted our data into table. So now you get the reason why I asked you finally to convert your data into table. So this all we did on our source data. Come back to pivot table. You will notice that in below to channel partners, we do not have the incentive field populated. No need to be panic. Simple, keep your cursor in your pivot table anywhere, right click on that, you got an option, refresh. So when you click this refresh tab with immediate effect, you will be finding your incentive tab will be generated in your existing field list box. And incentive, what type of data it is holding? The numbers. I told you when you have the numbers or numerical value in place, which is the right field area to place with?
Values.
So bring
Values.
it to the values. Simple. So you'll be getting a column newly added naming called total incentive. Along with that, year wise, how much incentive you have paid. This is also being listed. So this is how people converting your data into table, how it is adding more value and how it is avoiding the duplication of work and how it is being time saving, that we have understood. And if necessary, if there is no data over there, we have always a choice. We can go back to the source data and add those necessary columns and we can update our pivot table. So check pivot table number 4. Whatever we did, is it working? Any doubt, any queries from anybody? All right. Formula for incentive. Okay. See, formula is just 2%. You take your, just type equal to, select your sales USD column field, just one cell and multiply by 2%. This is the formula. If it is not happening, you can share the screen. I can guide you. Yes, Nidnam, is it happening? Could you please confirm? I'm waiting. Okay, we showed the screen. Fine. Okay, just multiply. Give you a multiply asterisk symbol. Numerical number 8 in the keypad. Numerical number 8, 2%. Just type 2 and percentage symbol. Numerical button 5. Enter. Right now, come back to pivot. Come to pivot. Come to pivot first. Now we have created another pivot table, right? Then you go on right click on the pivot anywhere. Right click on the pivot. No, go to the pivot table. No, where is it done? It's showing count. The value is shown as count. Hold on, hold on. Go to that count of incentive. The field is there in the value field area. Count of incentive is written there. No, no, no. In the box, value box, in the value box towards your right, in the bottom. Yeah, there is a small navigation button is there. Just see in the right, extreme right. Yeah, value field settings. Go for value field settings. The bottom one, last one. And there, instead of count, you make it sum. Go up, go up. Sum is there, one. No, why just went like this? No, don't go for product. See, follow Titnum properly what I'm saying. Don't take your own options. I said go to value field settings. Use sum, the first one, the formula name sum, first one. Yep, and click OK. So now you got your incentive in a proper fashion. Okay, fine. So I'm taking the control back on the screen. And now we have understood. So whenever there is a need, we do have a choice. We can create a new column in our source data and update our pivot table with a simple right-click refresh. Now, take your cursor to pivot table number 4, holding the control button, drag it to the right. So we got another pivot ready, naming called pivot table number 5. Now let's see what else we can do with regard to pivot. So we are done with our incentive. We can deactivate that field from our pivot table field list box. Now let's see what is the next ask from my boss. He's saying, Prabhas, you have given me incentive. Well and good. Now what I want to know is during these 3 years while making the billing or just creating the invoice at the time, how much discounts we have given to our customers. So boss wants to know now revenue versus discount or invoice amount versus discount amount. He wants to compare or analyze the data. Now, why he is looking for discount? Discount because we have given the discount. For that reason, our profitability margin has been gone down. So for the namesake, you have given some ready-made revenue figures, but technically when you calculate your discount, you have given that much. Because of that, the profitability margin goes down. So this is the reason why my boss wants to know that invoice amount versus discount amount side by side in the adjacent columns. But first thing first, check. Do we have a field called discount anywhere?
No, no, Prabhas.
So again, the problem starts. We do not have the data over here, correct? Now, take a hold on that over there. Take a hold on that. Like incentive, suppose we have a global policy in Tata Motors that uh, Abdul, could you please keep your mic on mute?
Sure, sure.
Thanks. So here, over here, take a look. Suppose say, like incentive in our Tata Motors, we have a global policy with regard to discount as well. So whatever the quantity we sell it or the customer, how much ever they purchase from us, how much ever the quantity it is, uniformly we give 5% discount to everyone. Suppose this is a global policy. Now, we do not have the discount data, but we know how to compute it. If you are going to present your discount column over there in pivot table, how will you do that? Yes, any answers?
Go to main sheet summary table.
So like the way we have done incentive, similar fashion, we'll go and do this for discount as well. Correct? Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
So to do the same job, like going to our source data sheet, creating a new column, applying the formula, populating the whole column, bringing to pivot, right click refresh, then bringing the field to the value field area. How much time you spent? Roughly 2 to 5 minutes. So one end, our 5 minutes of quality time we have spent, and that is waste of time. Yes, it is waste of time. Besides that, when you go to our source data, create a new column and apply the formula for 1 lakh row items, again, the file size is also getting heavy. Do you agree with that? And I have told you since day one, it's a major concern, the file size one, correct? So having said this, whatever we did, our expert, they suggest us to do the job like this, but Microsoft Excel never recommends for that. So whatever we did over here, people, incentive case, no doubt our people, our colleagues, they will suggest us to do the job like this. Okay. So in this case, now without creating any source data, if I happen to create a column naming called discount in pivot itself, how to do it? Take a look at that. Keep your cursor anywhere in pivot table. No need to create the source data. Keep your cursor in the pivot table anywhere. You will be having a tab naming called Analyze or Pivot Table Analyze, depending upon the versions of Microsoft Excel. And the moment you click this, it will take you to a field option naming called Fields, Items, and Sets. The group name is Calculation. Calculations is the group name, and Fields, Items, and Sets is the option name. And when you click that, inside you will be finding a calculated field one option is available. And when you go to this calculate field and click that, it will take you to a dialog box, something like this, where the criteria is showing as name. And the new column, whatever we are going to add, what would be the name? Name is discount. So we should go and type discount. Now, coming to the formula box, the next criteria, whatever it is written there, please delete it. Please delete it. Because we do not want to take existing formula, we want to design something of our own. But how? What should be the formula? Just see. Billing column, you have sales USD, double click on that. So automatically that will be populated in your formula box. Then multiply. What is the percentage? As we discussed, 5%. Just type 5 and percentage symbol. That's it. The moment you click OK, with immediate effect, you will be finding a new column in your pivot table is going to turn up over there as total discount. And along with that, a year-wise discount column also will be populated. And if you look at your pivot table, this field is already placed in the value field area. So I don't need to go and take any extraordinary efforts over here and waste my time. So like this, n number of virtual fields, customized fields, calculate fields we can create in our pivot. And the beauty is you don't need to go back and check your source data, whether the data is there or not. It will never be there. It will not go and create the source data, but you have the virtual field and this data will be the property of your pivot table. Whenever you wish, you can deactivate and activate the fields depends upon the need. So this is how people we have understood how to use this calculate field. Just to use that and tell me, is it working? Any doubt, any queries? If you have, you can ask me. Fine. All clear? Anybody is having any challenge or any questions? Fine. So if you do not have any question, I was expecting somebody should ask me.
Please repeat the section, Professor.
No problem. So I'll go and keep your cursor in the pivot. First, just watch my screen. Then going to analyze or pivot table analyze, you have an option called fields, items, and sets. If it is not showing on your screen, you may be probably having a group option icon called calculation. So to go to that calculations, within that fields, items, and sets you will be getting, and within fields and items and sets, you can see an option called calculated field. And this will take you to a dialog box. There you need to type discount and then formula box, remove everything and go for over here. Double click on that sales USD column, which is there in below. And automatically it will be embedded to the formula box
Okay.
and then multiply by 5%.
Okay, I'll try.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Thanks.
Okay, no problem. So Didnam, is it working for you? Abdul, what is the status, please?
Hello. So the problem is that my worksheet is not opening because there is some this thing memory problem. So I could not able to do the exercise. I'm just observing only.
It is not opening.
Yeah, it is giving some error, memory issues.
Issues. Okay.
I
You can
think my
share the
laptop
screen.
has some problem.
Okay, you can share the screen. Let
Yeah,
me see
definitely.
if I can help you out within 1 or 2 minutes.
Sure. Yeah. Is it visible?
Yep, I could see.
Yeah.
Click OK.
It is,
Yeah, click OK. No problem. Click OK.
yeah. So it's giving blank.
So that's what I'm saying. Click OK. Now close this file.
Okay.
Now show me that folder where you have saved all the files.
Sure.
No, your screen is off.
No, just
Go to that folder where you have saved all your files. Go to that Excel training. Excel training. Yeah. One more. Sample case studies. Fine. Go to sample case studies. Yes. Then within that, yes. Go again. And then data analysis.
yes.
Open any of the document because there is no enough available memory for disk space. Okay. Go to your My Computer. Yeah, go to that same folder again. Go to same folder again.
Yes.
Now go to My Computers.
Yes.
No, it's not here. My Computer. Yeah. Hold on there. This PC in the down extreme bottom. This PC is there. Just see extreme bottom. Yeah,
Yeah.
click that. Well, your D drive is enough space is there. Then why it is showing like this?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So 48 GB. This is there. Fine. Just close this Outlook. Is it open? The Outlook is open. Yeah, close that for the
Yeah,
timing. Close it. That's it.
yes.
Yeah. Now just do the refresh in the desktop. Go to desktop. Yeah, there you go for refresh 3 to 4 times. Just hold on. Now on your keyboard, press Windows D. Just press Windows and D. The start button with D. Right. There is a recycle bin option there. Just right click on recycle bin. In the left column, first column, towards down, down, same line down.
Yeah.
Yes, right click. And go for empty recycle bin. Second one, yeah.
Yeah, done.
Okay, now here just do right click in the desktop empty space and you right click. Then go for refresh. Yeah, now go to that folder again. Yeah, go to that folder. Right. Then from that you cut it. That entire folder. No, don't open anything. Click OK. Click OK. Yeah. Just cut it from this place. Cut it. Yeah, cut it. Or copy also, that's fine, no problem. And go to desktop. Again, Windows D. After copying, just go to Windows D.
So,
Yeah, and paste it.
yes. Shall I open this?
No. Just hold on. Go to desktop again. Hold on for the timing. Go to desktop again. I believe you do not have sufficient RAM. Let me just confirm. Go to desktop, complete desktop. Yeah, there is a this PC one option icon is there. This PC.
Yeah.
Just right click on that.
This piece. Yeah.
And there's a properties option is there. Properties. Yeah, click on it.
Yeah.
You have 16 GB, sufficient memory is there. What is one behaving like this? Okay, close this window. And go to that folder. You have pasted the folder. Where is the folder? Sample case
Yeah,
studies.
this is, yeah.
Okay, now you open from there. Yeah, go to that file, data analysis.
Mm.
Okay, is your personal laptop or office laptop it is?
It's office laptop.
Okay, then you have to take the help of IT because we cannot tamper and things.
Yeah,
Some other problems are there. Anyway, so you can
yes,
just watch the screen today. Later, taking the recording, you can practice it. Okay,
sure.
right. And then so I'm just taking the control back on the screen over here, and we have done up to our pivot table number 5. So as I was telling you, you have any questions? I repeatedly asking that you make face a trouble. What is the kind of trouble? Let me put it in a scenario format. Now, suppose say this is what I have designed the calculations and I'm showing to my boss. My boss is looking at the same and he's telling me, Prabhas, we are selling the premium products. Then why you are giving this much of discount? Is right. When you are having a premium quality products, there is no point of giving discount. So just there is no point of sustaining in the market and then you will be giving huge discount to your customers. You will be buying the pool of customers. But the problem is sometimes one segment of customer side, they think in different way. What is that? The more the discount, again, the product quality also being questioned over there. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
A simple thing, when you go to buy some garments, Louis Philippe, okay, take an example. If you go to Louis Philippe store, they don't give even a 1% discount. Now the same piece you will be finding in the footpath having 20 to 30 or 50% discount. Same product. Will you buy from the footpath by giving 50% discount prices over there? Definitely, what is the first thing that comes to mind? It is not the original one. It may be the seconds, or it may be some factory outlets, some ready-made. I mean, some minor defect will be there. Some defective pieces they are selling it in huge discount. This is how the customer's mindset or behavior. And because of these reasons, what my boss is saying that do not give discount of 5%. Give only 1%. So now the question is, I have already calculated with 5%. I need to change it to 1% since he's demanding that. So what is the best option? Should I delete this field and create a new calculation, or should I go for editing the existing field? What's the best option?
Editing.
Definitely. So we can save our time. So now the question is, if I create a calculate field, if I need to edit or delete, how to do that? So that is also we need to know. Keeping your cursor anywhere in this pivot table, go to our pivot table design or analyze whichever the options you have shown on the screen. Same option, field, items and sets and calculated field. There in the name field, you will be finding in the right side, there will be a drop down over here. In this drop down, it will be showing all the field list, whatever we have created. So we'll go for discount over here, and within that, now the formula will be displayed and showing 5%. What my boss is demanding, 1%. Now here, once you do all these changes, if you want to retain this field, go for modify. If you do not want to see this field, go for delete. Depends on the need. So we are looking for the field to be there. So go for modify and click OK. And the same field now discount will be updated with 1% instead of 5%. So this is how people we have understood if there is a need, how to deal with our calculate field and how to edit it and how to delete it and update the records. Save your files, check all these things are working. Any doubt, any queries?
What if my boss is saying, let's say, to keep 5% and 1% both? So for example, let's say Indica, in
Right.
that 1% bolt 5%. Can we do that
Uh-huh.
multi formula also?
Yeah, you can have one more column like discount one or discount two or discount factor 1%, discount factor
Okay.
5%, like that. You can name it.
Mm-hmm.
You can give multiple simulation like if I give 1%, this is the value. If I give 2%, this is the value. Like that, you can keep it.
No, so in one table only I can't give.
Yeah, this is the only table. One table means this is the multiple columns we have to use. Now, like
No,
one discount, one column, I have to use
yeah,
one more discount column.
no, but what my point is, so let's say
Mhm.
column C. Column C is
Right,
for sum of discount 2019. Okay.
right,
This figure 6184 is based on the 1% discount.
true.
Okay. Let's say Indica is 1%, Bolt I have to give 5%. In one column, can I do that?
No, no, no.
Okay.
So when you have the discount percentage varying based on the customer, based on the product, you cannot
Mhm.
have over here. So those things purpose, you should go to our source data sheet, and
Okay.
depending upon the product or something,
Mhm.
whatever the discount percentage has already been decided by the team or by the management, you should have one more column, and then you should apply VLOOKUP from the master data. You should get the percentage value, then you should create one more column as a discount value, and that value
Mhm.
you should take it as a field
Pivot.
in your pivot
Yeah,
table. Yeah,
agreed. Okay.
right. Now, coming to pivot table number 5. We are done with that. Now, do one thing, please. Take this cursor to pivot table number 5, holding the control button, drag it to the right. You got pivot 6 ready. So our discount work is over. You can remove the checkbox from discount.
Yeah, Prabhas, I have doubt here.
Yeah, please ask.
Okay, actually, previous section I have created the discount column erroneously, and as you said, I have deleted, but still it is
Hmm.
showing in the pivot table field. Uh,
Okay, can you please help me out with your screen?
yeah, sure. We can able to see my screen.
Yep, yep. Go to Excel. Yes. So,
This is the one I have
um,
created
hmm,
erroneously.
hmm.
I was deleted from the fields, calculated
Let's
fields,
see. Let's see.
but
Just go to
uh,
calculate field. Pivot table analyze. Fields, items, and sets.
this is the one I have created new.
No, no. Go to the drop down. Okay.
Uh,
All right. Go for refresh again. Go to pivot table refresh. Come out of that. Come out of that. Yeah. Refresh. So it is gone.
yeah, it is gone, but
Mhm.
it's still showing here this table fields.
Okay. Table fields why it is showing because it is already calculated and is showing the history over there. It is being populated.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. No problem. All right. So I'm taking the control back on the screen. Now, pivot table number 6. Let's see what else we can do with regard to pivot table. Okay. Now here, suppose say this is what I have presented to my boss. Stay focused, a beautiful concept I'm going to explain to you, which will be really time saving for you. Now, this pattern my boss likes the most. He is telling Prabhas, this pattern is really good. Last 3 years data, 3 columns, all the products in the rows. I'm happy with that. But you have given me only one pivot table. So what I'm expecting is this kind of pivot table should be there based on the salesman. So salesman wise pivot table boss is expecting, and the pivot table pattern should remain the same like this. So if I'm having in my organization near about 150 salesmen, my boss is expecting 150 pivot tables just like this. How to do that? First thing first, watch my screen, no need to do anything. As we have developed the practice, we'll check. We do have Whether we have the field related to salesman or salesperson or sales agent, any we do have, right?
Channel partners.
No, salesperson, one field is there.
Yes.
Right. So I'll take this field to the rows. Just check my on my screen. I will take this field to the rows. My pattern is disturbed. Boss is not happy. I took salesperson to the columns. Again, what is happening? Salesperson field is there, but details are missing. I took to the filter area one step up. Now what is happening? My pivot table patterns remain safe, and above to pivot table, I am getting a salesperson field populated immediately. So now, though I have got it, but again, I have to work only with one pivot table, and that is what my boss is not happy watching the same. So he's expecting multiple pivot tables. So what I did out of curiosity, I said, my boss, that sir, don't worry. If you need multiple pivot tables, right? Don't worry. Just go to this field, select SM1, click OK. Now this entire pivot table belongs to salesman 1. Only thing is you have to insert a new worksheet. You have to copy this. You have to paste it in that new worksheet. And this is what the action you have to repeat for 150 times. I said something like this. What will be the reaction from other side? Do you think that my boss will be happy? What he'll say? We know what will be the reaction. No need to say that. So this is how when I presented something to my boss, immediately he listened the whole story and he is telling me, Prabhas, I'm really impressed with your smartness. The way you have diverted the entire responsibility towards me, I like that. Now let's do one thing. Tomorrow morning when you come to office, please bring your resignation letter with you. I would happy to sign on that. So what's the bottom line from the story? Is we cannot transfer our job responsibilities towards our superiors. So we need to do that. Now think about it, how to do it. So this task, if you have to do 150 times like this, it will be taking my whole day. And I'm not sure also whether I could complete that task in one day itself. But think about it. Now, entire one day job, if I make it happen for you just in 10 seconds, yes, 10 seconds, how much of quality time we can save? A lot. So let's do that. The objective is any point of time, if you happen to export your pivot table report into multiple reports and a click a button, how to do that? First thing first, take salespersons to the filter area. Kindly do it along with me. Take salespersons to the filter area. So a field will turn up above to pivot table having a filter naming over here called all. Keep your cursor in that cell. Select that filtered cell. Don't click that filter button. Just select the cell. And then go to your pivot table analyze over here or analyze whichever the tab it is showing on your screen depending upon the pivot table versions or Excel versions. The very first option it shows as pivot table name, and below to that you will be finding one options tab is there. Next to option one small navigation button is there. Click on that navigation button. You will be finding three options coming up out of that. One is options. Second one is show report filter pages. Third one is generate get pivot data. So go for the second one, show report filter pages. And it will take you to a dialog box, something like this, where you could see the field is already been populated and selected. Now click OK. And the moment you see on your blink of your eyes, your entire pivot table will start just exporting the data and having the filter selected the salesman name, having the pivot report layout, the same layout, and the fields are also renamed with the salesman name. See, all these things are happening with one go. So that's what we call it as life savior option of our pivot table. And trust me, it is going to save a lot of time. And I have literally seen people doing sitting at the year end doing the copy paste work, and that you can avoid any point of time. Your data you are looking for, suppose product wise report, customer wise report, vendor wise report, cost center wise report, anything you can generate something like this. I believe it's working. Helpful,
Yes, yes, Prabhas.
right? So this is how people, if you know the tool properly, you can optimize that and you can save a lot of time. And since people are not exploring much and they always believe, okay, there is no other options, we have to sit and do the copy paste work. Fine. So pivot table number 6, whatever we did, I believe it's clear. Any doubt, any queries, anybody? Now do one thing, go to pivot table number 6, holding the control button, drag it to the right. You get another pivot table naming called pivot table number 7. Now go to pivot 7 and the salesperson work is over. Now let's see what else we can do with regard to pivot table. Sometimes what it happens, friends, the moment you are working with pivot, you need to present your date related information in pivot, like our invoice date, then purchase order date, work order date, date of joining of the employee, something like that. If you have, then how to present those information effectively to the audience, we are going to discuss that. Okay, so now here, take a look. We have product description. You can remove that. Remove here also. We have a field called order date that you take it to the rows. So you'll be getting a setup like this. Just give me a second. All right, so I believe everyone is getting this kind of setup. So this kind of setup comes only if you are there in 2016 and above versions of Microsoft Excel. And this ready-made setup doesn't help. People don't like reading the data in this pattern. So now the question is how to present it effectively. What is the best format? Let's see. I will keep my cursor in one of the year, right click on that, and there I'll go for ungroup first. We have an option ready-made ungroup. So when I go for ungroup with immediate effect, you could see individual date-wise records will be populating for all. So this is nothing but neutralizing your existing format, and it is bringing the data row item wise or invoice date wise invoice values. And this is what we used to get in 2013 and prior to those Excel versions. Hope all of you are getting the same setup. Not able
Yes, yes,
to
it was.
create the pivot table. Okay. Yes, Tetnum, you can share your screen.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Go to Excel. Right. Pivot table. You're not able to create pivot table, you said.
Yes, sir.
Your pivot is there towards your right side. Don't work in pivot. We are working pivot 6. Go for towards your right. Even right. Not that. Not that.
Here,
Hold it and
here, sir.
hold it and drag it towards your right. That must keep just that. That's see how you are going to operate otherwise. Towards your left, come towards your left, come towards your left. That's it. That's it. There you go and operate. That at right arrow key direction is there. Right arrow key, left and right two arrow keys are there. Go towards your right, further right. Can you see a pivot 6 is there?
Yes, sir.
From there you have to go. That's what I'm saying. You go for right click. Yes, keep hitting, keep hitting. Now go over there and holding the control button, drag it to the right. Holding the control button, drag it to the right. Just right click on pivot 8. Right click on pivot 8. Move or copy. Create a copy. Down. The checkbox is there. Checkbox is there. Checkbox, don't go down. Checkbox is there. Please follow my instruction. Don't do of your own. See you. Hold on. Now come down. That scroll bar is there. Bring it down. Yeah. Pivot 6 is there. Showing pivot 6.
Yes,
Right. Now, what it is showing that if you are going to create a copy, it will create a copy before pivot 6. But we would like to create after pivot 6. So go to move to end. The next option, move to end. Click OK. So you'll be finding pivot table number 7 is ready. Okay. Now remove this. Hold on. It's not yet done. Not yet done. Come to pivot again. Customer, deactivate customer field. Deactivate salesperson. Year. Year field also deactivate. Yeah. Now bring your order date just above to sales USD. One order date field is there, and that you bring it to the rows. Then keep your cursor in one of the year in the pivot, one of the year. Right click on that. Option is there, ungroup. Yeah, click on that. Then over here, follow the rest of instructions of mine. So I believe everyone has got the same setup, whatever I'm showing on the screen. Then you can keep your mic on mute. Now, once we have this over here, it is running in pages, and this is not the right way to present your data. So you can just keep your cursor in one of the date and go for right click on that. Right click on that. You will be finding one option called group. Exactly above to the ungroup option, you will be finding one option called group. And when you go for this grouping option over here, you will be finding it will be showing you a dialog box asking what is the first invoice date, what is the last invoice date, and below to that, some categories. And in this categories, already month is in selection. Just above to month, day is also there, you can select. And in the end, years also there, you can select. I repeat, you can cross check what you have selected, days, months, years. All these three options should be on, and then click OK. And see the beauty, your entire pivot structure will be coming up with a proper hierarchy model over here, and year wise, month wise, date wise, whatever the revenue data you will be fetching over here. So this is how you are supposed to present your date related information in pivot people any point of time and present your data effectively. Check it out. All of you are getting the same setup. Any doubt, any queries? All right. So this is how pivot 7, whatever we did, I believe everyone is clear. Now, what you need to do, just select pivot 7 sheet tab and holding the control button, drag it to the right. You got another pivot ready, naming called pivot table number 8. Okay. Now from this pivot table, we need to deactivate. What is that? Our months, years, and order date, anything, any field, whichever it is created, those fields we are going to deactivate because our purpose is solved out and we got the expected report. Now, bring our data, the first pivot table report like product description in the rows, year into columns. All right. So here now, let's have a discussion. What else we can do with regard to pivot table? So stay focused what I'm asking. Suppose say this is what I have presented to my boss. No doubt my boss is happy what I have presented. But he likes to see the data, exact value of billions, millions, lakhs, crores. He wants to see that and he's happy with it. But the same data, when I'm presenting to the management, what they're expecting, they are not worried about billions, millions. That's for sure. I told you in day one, when the data goes to the management, how they are precisely looking for. Can anyone recall? Just for your information, in day one, if you recall, we discussed something in the data presentation sheet, how to make our data informative. What did I express? When you have your ready-made numbers, when you're presenting the data to the management, they're expecting in terms of percentage, which will be easy to read, and they do not have time to go through our boring numbers. Did you remember? Didn't I say you all these things?
Yes, 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 Prabhas.
Right. So this is how the moment the same when you would like to present in pivot table. Ideally, what people they do, don't do that. I'm just telling you what people they do. They create a manual column for this and they go for this cell and divide it by with the total and then they lock it and the same they convert into percentage and the same they go and apply to the others over here and it shows the recurrence like this. So for 3 years, they create 3 different columns manually and they are trying to present it. This is not the ideal way of presenting your data. When you are in pivot table, your entire story should be reflecting in pivot only. You should not take the help of any external additional column or manual column like this, but people does because they believe those things are not possible in pivot. And that is what we are going to do now in pivot itself, how to present our data in percentage value. Just see. I'll delete all these things, whatever I have created, but there are certain things we have to always go for it for such kind of calculation is a little bit of Windows interface arrangements. Like in our pivot table, there are two types of grand total you see over here, two types. This is called your row-wise grand total. This is called your column-wise grand total. The report what we are expecting there, this row-wise grand total doesn't play any kind of role. So we need to remove it. We cannot delete a particular field in a pivot table in this format. So what is the option? We can hide it, but if you hide after D column, direct F column will be visible, and that will be also annoying. So in this case, how to deactivate our row-wise grand total? Just see, there's a very beautiful option. Keeping your cursor in pivot, go to the design tab, and there we have an option called grand total from the left second option. And when you go to this grand total over here, you can see the last option. It deals with on for columns only. And when you go for that, your row wise grand total is deactivated. Can you see? Is it working? Check it out, confirm.
Yes.
Yes, yes, okay.
Right. Now, once we have done with this, then please focus on my screen for a minute. Observe what I'm doing. Next 1 minute, I'll be giving time to try with. Just focus. I have already got sales USD in the value field area. Okay. I will bring this sales USD once again to the value field area. It will create a column, identical column naming called sum of sales USD2. I'll keep my cursor in that column header. I'll go for right click on that column header. There is an option over here called show values as. And from the top, fourth or third option, what it deals with? Percentage of column total. I repeat, percentage of column total. I should check. And automatically my entire value will be turned into percentage. And the total, if I look at, is it seeing as 100%? Yes. So here I will go and change my data column revenue percentage. Now see, working in the pivot itself, we could create another column and showing our data, and year wise everything it is showing 100%. And then you can make out from 2019, if you look at immediately it shows me 12.32. Which one? Sumo Gold is generating the maximum revenue. 2020, which is giving more, 11.94 in just. So like that, people will love to see this when it goes to the next level. So give it a try and check all these things are working. Fine. All of you are getting that? Anybody still facing trouble, not getting this field called revenue percentage? Do let me know. I can help you out.
Yeah, got it, Prabhas.
Okay. Fine. Now take a look again. Please watch my screen for a minute. What I'm asking, please focus. This Indica 2019, if you look at what is the value it has been displaying? Indica 2019, how much?
Percentage?
No, no, no. Indica 2019. How much?
618,372.
618,837.
Right. So it is of 6 lakhs 18 or 61 80,000. So it is not easy to express immediately right now. That's why for better option, we can go for our percentage. We have converted and we have presented. That's one thing we did it. But this 6 lakhs 18,372 is of one invoice or is it of multiple invoice consolidated and it is showing the screen? What's your belief?
One
Multiple.
invoice.
Definitely, because pivot is showing a summary of the data, correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So over here, the moment we go for this, then the question now, my boss is asking me, Prabhas, this 2019 Indica, how many invoices we have raised? That I want to know. So he's expecting the invoice count, total number of invoices. So how to get that? Again, the problem is we do not have a separate column naming called invoice count. Then how to generate it? 1 minute, watch my screen. I'll take this cells UST one more time in the value field area. So we have got another field. You can notice sum of cells UST2. If you have not renamed the previous one, it will be naming as sum of cells UST3. Then I'll keep my cursor in that column header and there we have an option called summarize values by. By default, it shows me sum. I will change it to count and then see the things. Automatically, it will be telling me the story, how many invoices we have raised. So I can change the column name as invoice count and this is ready. So things which is really technically not available, but we could still create those things over there in our pivot. Give it a try. Fine. So I believe everybody is able to do that.
Yes, bro.
Right. Now, take a look. Do you believe that is it the right order to present your data? When you see the columns what I have selected, if you want to present it, what should be the order? What should be the first column out of these three? Should be invoice count, followed by invoice value, followed by invoice value in percentage. Do you agree with me?
Yeah. Yes.
So same thing, we need to present it. So how to present that? Just see. In our value area, if you look at, we have the last field naming called invoice count, correct? Then there's a small navigation also button is there. Just simply click on that and a pop-up will be turning up. You have to only go to over here, move to beginning. So when you go to move to beginning, automatically the order will be changing and the very first field will be there invoice count as we discussed, followed by invoice value, followed by invoice value in terms of percentage. So this is how people, all these fields, ideally people do it manually, but it is not needed. In Pivot itself, we have the ready-made options. Only thing is we need to customize the fields and making it ready. So hope pivot 8, whatever we did, it's working for everyone. Any questions from anybody?
No troubles.
Okay. Fine then, kindly save all your files and go to Pivot 8 Sheet tab, holding the Control button, drag it to the right. So we have got another pivot ready, naming called Pivot Table number 9. And from there, this fields like invoice count you can remove, revenue percentage you can remove, and just retain only sales USD field. Rest of two customized fields you can remove it. And then in our pivot table, if you look at that row wise grand total is missing, that you can bring it. How? Same option. Where to go? Keeping your cursor in pivot, going to design, and there you can go to our grand total. Second option, on for rows and columns. And this will be restoring your row wise grand total. Fine. So kindly save all your files. With this, we'll go for a short break. Okay. You can have a tea or coffee, have a brisk, come back soon. It's my system. It's 4:16.4:30. Again, we'll catch up. All right. So I'll be in mute. I'll be back by 4:30. Well, I believe everybody's back. Could you please respond quickly in the chat box so that we can proceed with the next pivot table?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So let us focus with our pivot table number 9. So now we are going to learn a beautiful concept of our pivot naming called dashboard. So this term is not a kind of a alien term for us. We have been experienced a lot of time, and even when you go for the corporate world, any report when you're looking for, always people expect any dashboard format or one page of format. Now, what is this dashboard exactly? Dashboard is nothing but it is the combination of three elements. One, a drop-down list. Second, a tabular data. Third, a graphical presentations. So when you see any dashboard, these things are quite common. So we are going to present our data in a proper dashboard format. So let us see how to design a beautiful dashboard by using pivot table. Okay. Some ground rules. Whenever you go for any dashboards you are looking for, okay, you have to take the help of multiple objects. And objects alignment has to be pinpoint accurate. And you must take some objects which is containing some kind of high definition colorful buttons, because those things are going to add more beauty to your reports. So in those case, now the question is how to create a beautiful dashboard with our pivot table and present it effectively to the audience. So let's start working with it. Just above to the pivot table, keep your cursor and just insert a row, Alt I R, Alt I for insert, R for row. So a row will be inserted, or you can go for right click insert row, whichever it is comfortable. And to repeat the last action, go for F4 or function F4, whichever is your keyboard shortcut, depending upon your brand of your laptop, you can go for it. So F4 is to repeat the last step, nothing else. So first step, Alt IR, second step to repeat the last step is F4. Create some 10 to 15 blank row items above to the pivot. This is the first job. So kindly just confirm once it is ready. Now, once we have this, keep your cursor in the pivot table anywhere and go to your pivot table analyze or analyze whichever the tab it shows on your screen. Then we have an option called insert slicer. So when you go to insert slicer button and you click it, don't go to the insert tab or menu option. In the pivot table analyze itself, insert slicer is there. And when you click that, it will take you to a dialog box where you find all the field is listed over here. Now these are nothing but slicers. Now what is this slicer about? If you remember in day 2, we have seen a glimpse of that. I told you how to connect the slicers to a data which is converted in table, a subtotal formula we presented dynamically. So now we are going to discuss in depth on that. So whenever you are thinking to integrate slicer with pivot table, you need to follow a rule. Rule says that first you'll have a look at your pivot table. What are the fields already taken? Say year, product description, and our sales USD. These three fields we should not choose again as slicer because that will be amounting as a duplication of fields and it doesn't add any value. But there is no hard and fast rule. If you want, you can take it. So technically, except these three fields, anything else you want to work with, then you have to choose out of slicer. Say, take an example. I want to choose my customer. I want to see my customer data. I want to see my salesperson-wise data. I want to see my region-wise records. And I want to see my month-wise also data. I repeat, you can cross-check customer, salesperson, region, month, not months, month, no S, only month. Okay. Now click OK. So you'll be finding four boxes will be turning up. Now, only thing is you need to take them and arrange them in that space what you have created above to pivot. But remember, whenever you want to select a slicer, you should select by the slicer name and take it wherever you want. Okay. So first I'm taking to salesperson over here. You can have your own order also, not an issue. There is no hard and fast rule. You should follow mine. But I would suggest the field which is containing maximum variables or text is too much. You should always keep it towards your right side. You kindly confirm this kind of layout you did get. Now, once we have got it, now just 1 minute focus on my screen. Though we have arranged the slicer, but it is not giving such a great look. So first of all, the look and feel of the slicers has to be changed. But how? 1 minute first to watch my screen, what I'm doing, observe, and next 1 minute you can try that. Just see. I'll take one slicer. There is a slicer tab activated on the ribbon. And this slicer tab name would be also something different. Someone may be having options or tools or design, depending upon the versions of Excel. And there are many more styles are available over here, you would see. When I go to the more button, it will open with two broad categories, light and dark. Here we should go for dark since we are going to create a dashboard. So as I told you, dashboard must have some high definition colorful buttons. So I take one dark color out of this region, one more dark color, month, one more dark color, and salesperson, one more dark color. Okay. So colorful changes has happened. But the problem is, if you look at, it is containing this kind of vertical scroll bars over here. This is not giving a great look. To remove the same, you can select one slicer. There's an option in the same slicer menu naming called columns. And by default, it shows one for everyone. You should go and increase the column numbers. Depends how many columns you should take depending upon the variable of that particular slicer. Now region, I go for 3. Month, I go for 3. You can do it also if you believe, okay, I should take uniformly 3 columns. You can do it one time itself, no issues. Now, some cases the data is not in readable format. I can extend it. Not I have enough space towards my right side. I can go and extend it something like this. Region, that also I can extend up to some extent. Yeah. Then month, that also I'll extend up to some extent. So this is how the data, whatever I have extended. Fine. If necessary, I can increase the phone number also. Right? We got it. Fine. Give it a try and bring this shape something like this. I'm working with full screen. If at all anybody is having an issue, do let me know. Unmute and speak. Now take a look. Once I have got all these things ready, I can select one of the slicer and I'll go for Control A. Now what is happening? All the slicers are in selection, right? Now what I need to do basically, I will go and this slicer tab, we have a beautiful option called align. I'll go to this align option and I choose align top. And then from the top margin, everything will be aligned properly. Then again, I'll go for align and distribute horizontally. Why distribute horizontally? Because between the slicers, spacing also has to be uniform. So distribute horizontally. Though I did it, the but final step, don't ever forget to do is next to align, one grouping option is there. This is very, very essential. You have to do mandatory. Don't forget that. What will be happening? Entire four slicer will be turned out to be a single object, and that was necessary. But the problem is, you can notice after doing these two steps, our slicers are landing up some empty spaces in the bottom side. So this is unwanted for us. Then how to remove the same? There is a button over here after making a groove. This button, I'll hold it and I'll drag it up and ensure that you are not going to regain the status of your vertical scroll bars. Okay, so this is how the slices alignment we have done. So please confirm once it is ready.
For me, align which one you use, Prabhas?
First align top, then align distribute horizontally.
It is deactivated now.
Have you selected all the slicers that you first checked?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
you can share your screen. Let me have a look.
Okay.
That's the problem. Okay, so do one thing first. It's grouped, I guess. Fine. Keep the cursor outside, please. Once, just click outside once.
Hmm.
Yeah, click there.
It's not allowing.
Okay, go for escape. Go for escape.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
Now just take one slicer out. Yeah, go select just one slicer that you take care out. The second one, just close to that. First one, yeah. Third one, right. Yes. Now this customer, select customer and take one more column more. Take one more column. Just select customer. Yeah.
Hmm.
Go to slicer tab. Go to slicer tab and take one more column. It will be of three columns. It is showing three. Make it four. And just little bit enhance towards your right side. Yes. Now select all the slicers holding Control A. Just click on Control A. Yep. Now go to align. First align top. Then go to align again, and distribute horizontally. And then finally group it. Hmm. Now from the bottom, you can see, no. Hold on. Select one slide. Can you see in the bottom line in the center, there is a circular button that you hold it and drag it up. Drag it up. Yes. Little bit, just little bit. Come down because vertical scroll. No. Yes. Now individually you operate and make it of a uniform height. The second one, region one, just select the region
Okay.
slicer
Hmm.
that you go take the from the bottom side. Make it of uniform height. Yeah, take it up. You're going further. So just maintain the month, whatever the height and width, similar and same height. Leave the perfect. Leave the mouse. Yes. Similarly, go for customer. This is fine. Little bit. Perfect. Now customer. Yes. Perfect. Done. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So I believe everyone is ready with the setup, the way I have presented on the screen. Now, between the slicer and pivot, some unwanted row items are there. You can select and delete those rows because this is not playing any role. Delete those rows. Then this pivot table field, which is there in the right side, it is not playing any role. You can deactivate that field. Okay. So our pivot is ready. Our slicer is also ready. Now, once we have done the same, keeping your cursor in the pivot, keeping your cursor in the pivot, then go to our pivot table analyze or analyze tab, options or design tab, anything what you believe on your screen is there. We have an option called pivot chart. So when you go for pivot chart over here and you click, it will take you to your entire chart family. And there, no need to do anything, just click OK. So when you click OK, you will be finding a ready-made chart is in place. And this one, you can hold it and align it next to the data. And the chart width, you can extend it exactly with line of your slicer. Okay. Now, once we have the chart in place, just see the beauty of pivot chart. You will be getting some ready-made filter buttons inside the chart area. You will never get in such stuffs in the normal course of chart actions. This is exclusively available only in pivot chart. But the chart when you have in pivot chart as in place over here, so to make it a little bit better, what you can do, selecting the chart, go to the design tab. In the top design, we have the options, right? And in this design tab, when you click, there are many more styles are available. And there is a more button also available. You can click on that more button and you need to take the last one. Now, why the last one? There are so many styles. The last one will be giving you some kind of glossy impact or embossing effect, people. That's why the last one you should choose. And then it will be giving a beautiful stuff over here. Yep. But the problem is within the chart area, this kind of unwanted grid lines doesn't make any sense. So we need to remove the same. But how to remove it? Just click on the plus symbol next to your chart, either left or right, depending upon the space of your monitor, it will appear. Then you should go and click. It will create a pop-up for us. And this pop-up menu, if you see, called grid lines, one checkbox is on. You need to deactivate that and then click this plus symbol. So this is how the chart, whatever the minimum formatting, that also we have understood how to do it. So your pivot table is ready, slicers are ready, pivot chart is ready. Kindly confirm. Now, kindly take a look. So far, whatever we have done, anybody can do that. It's not a rocket science or something extraordinary. We did it. Okay. Now, the next step, what you need to do is how to make our presentation different from others. What we have been focusing at since day one. Okay. Keeping your cursor anywhere in your blank cell, just keep your cursor in your blank cell. Okay. And watch my screen for a minute. Ideally, whenever you create your dashboards, you have to remove the unwanted stuffs from the screen. Like what is unwanted in this particular worksheet is this. What do you call this?
Formula bar.
Formula
What
bar,
do you, what do you call this?
header. No,
It,
Column headers. Column
column
headers. What do you call this?
providers.
Row headers.
row numbers.
What do you call this?
Me-
Many options.
Menu option.
Ribbon bar.
Ribbon.
Ribbon bar. Okay. All these stuffs are unwanted on our dashboard screen. Okay. So how to remove all these things? Keeping your cursor near blank cell, going to the view tab, you can see we have got three options by default on: headings, grid lines, formula bar in the view tab. Check it out. Is it on? Must be on.
Yes.
Just deactivate all these three. Then this ribbon bar, how to remove it? We cannot remove it. Only thing is we can hide or unhide. And to hide or unhide this ribbon bar, you can press a keyboard shortcut on your keypad, Control F1. If it is not your direct key, go with function Control F1 and check. Is it happening? Is it getting hidden? The same is a toggle key. You can hide or unhide with the same key itself. Is it working?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Right. Now we have done with all these things. Now, what I'm going to tell you is not mandatory. It's just a add-on. So during the practice, you can do that. For the time being, you watch my screen. Okay. So this is what I have prepared now. It is giving a complete neat and clean look as if a blank page is there, entire template is embedded on that. I am getting that kind of feeling, no doubt. But here, take a look. What I can do is I can go and create multiple rows, something like this. Okay. And I'll go to my insert. I'll take a shape, a rectangular one, and I will draw something like this. And there I'll making it as a text over here, sales dashboard, and I'll increase the font size. Okay. And then change the color patterns and think if it is there, I'll do it. So I'll go for a dark gray color and the text color, I would make it of white. Now, once I have done with this over here, as I told you, if you have 365, we are really blessed. So we have got an option called icons. It will be connecting to my Microsoft Office server. So I'll be going for some chart related icons, and I believe that this is going to add more value. Now, which one I should take it? Suppose this, and I click OK. OK. Now it is added, no doubt, over here. So this one, I'll take it and I'll put it across, and then I will increase a bit. And to give a proper fill, this also color, I'll change it. Okay. Now this is giving a perfect picture with an icon fill. And now to claim that this is not just a ready-made data I am preparing, this is my organization's data. To claim that, what I can do, as I told you in the beginning when we started the data, I took a company name. What is that? This data, when I showed you, I told you this data is of products of Tata Motors, right?
Data mode. Yeah. Yes.
No. So I'll take a logo of Tata Motors. So when I go for Tata Motors over here, whichever the logo I believe this is going to work fine for me, I can take that. And over here, I will copy this image and then I'll go to over here and I'll paste it. Now, seems good, looks good. So what happens? I am not only presenting my data, I'm also claiming that this is a authenticated data, and whatever the data we are showing, it's a real-time numbers. So this is how you can give a add-on to your data, something like this. So the dashboard will be having a great value. As I told you, this is not mandatory, this is optional. But if you do so, people would be happy. So as an audience, if you look at, is it giving a value addition to your work? Yes or no? You can give your opinion. This is what my suggestion. So you are in the audience seat. Is it looking great the way I'm presenting the data? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. Take a look. Now, once we have done with this, okay. Now remember one thing, being a presenter, never ever show many more information to the audience. Because the more the information you show, the more the questions you are going to invite. And in the meeting, hardly you get 10 minutes or 15 minutes to showcase all your story. So you have to be very calculative, you have to do your homeworks properly, and you must have thought to do something. When you have many more sheets, ideally we try to hide them. Now think about it, when I have hidden everything, but I have to keep this pivot 9 open because that is my core business area. And when I'm showing something by mistake or accidentally, my right click is enabled. Now my audience is smart enough to understand this unhide button will be activated if it is hidden something. And suppose say in front of me, my vice president is sitting and he's asking me, Prabhas, just click this unhide button. Can I say no? Can I say to him, sir, whatever you are looking for is there in front of you? Why you are asking unwanted questions? Can I say that? No way. So though I am not willing to showcase the data, then I am forced now when he's asking me to show these unhide options and the unwanted data I have to show. My core business, whatever the presentation, it has gone into drain and unwanted questions is going to be come over there in the presentation area. So what's the point? When you hide something, anybody can unhide with a simple right click. Hide in such a way that nobody can unhide that. Then it makes sense. So let's go and see how to hide all the sheet tabs at once in such a way nobody will be ever be knowing except us that where is our sheet, where is our source data, where is our dashboard, how many tables created, except us, nobody will be knowing. Let's see how. Going to file, and then in the bottom we have the options. Then it will take me to the Excel options dialog box on the screen. Then there is a category naming called advanced. Once I select, towards my right side, there is a scroll bar will appear that you drag it up to 50% down, and there will be a section naming called display. When you go to display over here, exactly, there is a subgroup called display options for this workbook. And there the third tab is showing as show sheet tabs. It is on. You can deactivate that. And once you deactivate the same, now click OK. What you need to do, as I told, going to File, then Options, then Advanced, scroll it down till the middle. Display group will be there. Within that, display options for this workbook will be there. And within that, you need to deactivate Show Sheet tabs and finally click OK. So all these things, we did it. And when you go and click OK, and now see the beauty. The whole tabs, whatever we had, is it disappear? So this is how you should make your interface ready. Okay, now just watch my screen for 2 minutes. Now suppose say I made all these things ready. My boss asked me, Prabhas, are you ready for the presentation? I said yes. Then he has invited me to the presentation area and he has greeted to all our delegates. Then he asked me, Prabhas, please start the show. So I just connected to the projector. When I opened this, my boss immediately started saying, "We are not interested to see last 3 years data. Just focus us only in 2021." So I'll go to my year filter and there I'll choose 2021. Then only 2021 data will be displayed on the screen. So those who are interested to see numbers, they can read my pivot data. Those who do not have the time but they want to have the story, they can look at my chart area. So what they can understand, from Genix Nano, we got the maximum revenue, and from Sumo Gold, we got the least revenue. So whoever is watching my data, they can make out this much, no issues. Now, suppose say next to my boss, my chief marketing officer is sitting. He's asking me, Prabhas, if this is the history of 2021, can you show me salesman 5's performance during the year? I'll go to salesperson 1 slicer, SM5. Now, this is the story of SM5 for the year 2021. So looking at the data, he kept quiet for a minute and then immediately he asked one more question. What is that? If this is the history of Salesman 5 for the year 2021, can you show me his performance during the month of May? I'll go to month and I'll choose May, and this is what the story. Only one product he has sold, that is Hexa. To which country? Africa region. Who is the customer? Tuli Motors. So everything is happening on your click of button. So this is how people, whenever you integrate your slicers, pivot table, pivot chart, that makes a perfect dashboard for you. And this is what people are expecting from you. And trust me, when you present something like this, whoever is sitting in the audience side, they will be happy watching that. And somebody is going to definitely ask a question. All these things you are done in Excel? Yes. Now, why the people are surprised? Because people believe people have used Slicer, but they have never seen such kind of presentations. So they believe that all this kind of presentations is available or possible only if you are in Power BI. But we have beautiful option in Excel itself. Only thing is we have to optimize that. So this is how, whenever there is a need, how to create a beautiful dashboard or one page or report in Pivot itself, in Excel, we have understood. Just check it out. All these navigations are happening. Any doubt, any queries, feel free to ask.
Um, in this one, advanced under
Mhm.
display, which option you told to unclick?
From the display option from this group, that is what for this workbook, show sheet tabs.
I'm in display, but I'm not getting the option. Oh, it is pivot. Okay, okay, okay. I got it. Now. I'm not getting this option, Prabhas.
Yeah, you can share the screen. Let me see.
Yeah.
Okay, sheet tabs. Go to file, options, options in the bottom. No, no, no. Come to extreme bottom. Options is there in the left side. Yeah.
This one, right?
Yeah. Go down. Yes.
I clicked there only.
Yeah. Fine, because it is getting a
Hmm.
delay for me
Oh,
to
okay, 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 okay. Fine, fine, no problem.
screen is lagging. Yeah. Now come down, come down, come down, come down. Perfect. Just hold on. Display option for this workbook. Yes, display option for this workbook. Third option, show sheet tabs. Hmm. Now
Okay,
click
I have
OK.
clicked. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So any challenges from anybody, do let me know. So taking the live data, people, you have to practice. Okay. And trust me, this is going to save a lot of time and you can create a definitely positive impressions in the audience mind. Fine, cool. Is this helping you? Whatever we did. Any questions from anybody? All right. Now let's restore our data first. So whatever the things we have deactivated, we have to bring it back. But first of all, the data. So you see, whenever you have operated with a slicer, I told you the other day also to bring the data back or to restore the data, go to top right corner of each and every slicer, and you have a cone kind of structure naming called clear filter. You can deactivate all these things. Then in the chart area, you can deactivate this clear filter. All the filters will be restored. Now, what is that we need to restore? All the sheet tabs. Same option. Where to go? Going to file. Which option? Options. Which tab? Advanced. Scroll down somewhere in the display. Within that display, display options for this workbook. Third option, show sheet tabs, which is being deactivated. You can activate the same and click OK. So when you click OK, all the sheet tabs will be restored. Now, what are the other things we need to activate? Keep your cursor in a blank cell. Go to View tab. Whatever the things we had deactivated, like grid lines, formula bar, headings, all these three tabs to be activated. So kindly confirm all of things once you activated. Fine. So pivot table number 9, we are clear with that. So now only thing is taking the live data from your workplace, you have to keep practicing. Now here one thing I'll tell you, sometimes what it happens, people would be happy, but some sort of people, they will take a objection. Where, they will ask that Prabhas, everything is fine, but this entire section is really not looking good. So remove this. So this is my core business area. Based on this only everything is existing. Now pivot table itself, if I remove it, how it will work? It will never. But in that case, just to satisfy the people, don't break your head, don't waste your quality time just to make them happy. What you can do, I'll tell you a very beautiful option. Don't waste your time. If you're connected with the projector, remove that connections. Take this chart, cover this data. This is the best option. And extend this over here. Done. You're operating, you're looking for charts only, right? Fine. Data is unwanted. Whatever happening beneath this chart, who cares? He wants to see the data of Lexus Motors. Click on this. Lexus Motors data is there. He want to see Lexus Motors in the month of, suppose say June, how it is, the trend. So if this is what the June month trend over here with regard to the products. Now Lexus Motors in Thailand in the month of June, what is the status? This is what only 1 year business 2021. So if I remove over here all the months, if I make it, so in Lexus Motors Thailand, 2 years there is a business over, I mean in 2021 only two products are making good business. One is in the month of January and the June it is making the business over here. So this is how, I mean, whenever there's an operation, you can do that without hampering or doing any kind of changes with your data. So this is how you should do the smart work. Hope it is clear. Now, come to our pivot table number 6 and holding the control button from pivot 6, drag it to right side and one more pivot will turn now, naming pivot table number 10. pivot table number 10. Okay. Now in this, just when you keep your cursor in the pivot, this pivot table field is missing in the right side. No worries. Just right click on pivot and bring show field list. So immediately your pivot table field list box will be populated. Now, salesperson work is over. You can remove that. Then save all your files. Okay. So far, whatever we have done, you would have noticed that in one worksheet, only one pivot table is there. So as a layman, if I think about each and every individual worksheet containing a different story. What if I want to create multiple pivot tables in the same worksheet itself and convey a beautiful story over there? So instead of one pivot, we want to connect multiple pivot tables and turn a beautiful story. So in that case, what you need to do, just see, keep your cursor in the first pivot table, Control A, select your data, copy, Control C, leaving one or two rows down, paste it. Leaving one or two rows down, paste it. Now, though we have got two pivot tables, people, having the same information, no use. So go to our second pivot table and remove this product description out of this and bring customer to the row area and change from the design tab a different color. So this is what we did in our second pivot table. So kindly confirm once you do the same setup. Now, so here, the moment we have created with both the pivot tables, but how will I know? Is it the same or two different? Because I have copied and pasted. So I told you in the beginning that each and every pivot, they have their own unique name. So how to explore that? If I go to my first pivot table and right click on that anywhere, and from the bottom second one, if I go for the option pivot table options, it will show in the box what is that pivot table name. For me, it is pivot one. For you, just check it out. Pivot one, two, three, or everyone might be one only. Are you getting the number?
Yes, it's
Yes,
pivot
yes,
table one.
yes.
Yeah. So whatever the number, just remember for the time being. Similarly, go to the below pivot table and explore the same way. Right click, pivot table options, and check the number. So now the numbers would be different. For me, it is pivot table number 12. For you, it might be 15, somebody might be 22. Could be the case, no worries. But remember that number, okay? Is it different?
Yes, yes.
Right. Now what you need to do, just see over here. I have taken my customer data in the below pivot table. Now I have hardly taken only 20 customers' names. But it's not necessary that Tata Motors will be working and dealing with only 20 customers. Is there any such kind of restrictions? No. So when I take my customer data exactly in this format, might be dealing with 2000 customers. So my pivot table will be landing up 2000 row items. So there is no point showing your entire 2000 records to your audience, and none of the audience is interested to see that. Then what is the best way to present your information? What people are looking at? Because data, what we are preparing, it is for the audience, not for us. So what people are expecting? Top three customers, top five customers, top 10 customers, or bottom three, bottom five, bottom 10 customers. This is what people are expecting. How to present that? Now, out of my entire customers, I want to show only top five customers. See, customer is having column A filter. I'll go for that. And there, option is there called value filter. So when I choose value filter, within that, we have an option called top 10. So when I choose top 10, a dialog box appears, and where 10 is there, I should make it of 5 because we are looking for 5. And this is what going to be shown as top 5. If I need bottom 5, I can change the drop down to bottom. So all these options are there. Only thing is we need to customize. Now, since we are looking for top 5, click OK. And now top 5 customers data will be displayed on the screen, right? Similarly, go for our product description, showcase top 5 products, value filter, top 10 and top 5. Okay. So top 5 products, top 5 customers. Kindly confirm. Is it ready? Now, yes, Ms. Ba, what exactly you want me to repeat? Going to the customer filter, value filter, top 10. And then go for top 5 over here. Instead of 10, you should change it to 5. Similarly, here also product description, filter, value filter, top 10, and you need to change to top 5. Okay. Now, close this window box. This is no more longer required. You can close this. Okay. Now take a look. Between this first pivot table and the second one, just leave 3 to 4 row items or 2 items. That is also enough. And delete all the rest of the rows. Now, come back to your first pivot table grand total cell. If you look at this is properly arranged in a beautiful story that from Indica we got the maximum revenue and from Tigor we got the least revenue out of my top 5 products. Similarly, if you look at the customer, top 5 customer, the same story is not on. So what we can do, keep your cursor in the grand total cell anywhere, right click on that, sort largest to smallest. Okay. Now here, one thing you have to always make a note that whenever you work with multiple pivot table, your formatting will goes for toss. Whenever you update your records, refresh your data, sometimes the formatting will go for toss. So how to retain the formatting in the permanent nature? What you can do is you can simply right click on the first pivot table after doing all your necessary formattings. So all the text should be visible, alignment should be center, all these things, whatever we discussed. You can just go to right click on the pivot. From the bottom, second one, pivot table options. And then here we have an option naming called auto fit column widths on update. By default, it will always be on. You got to deactivate that option and click OK. Similarly, repeat for the below pivot table as well. Right click on pivot, pivot table options from the bottom, second one, and then auto fit column widths on update. When you click OK, again, now the formatting, whatever we have designed over here, it is going to be retained as a permanent format. Okay. So how to retain the formatting, we got that. Now keeping your cursor in the first pivot table, go to our Analyze or Pivot Table Analyze tab and go for Pivot Chart. Nothing new, just 10 minutes back we have done the same. So go and add a chart and click OK. So take this chart and from the data, little bit spacing you just give it and extend the chart towards your right side. Now repeat the same for the below pivot table also. Got a pivot chart ready. Okay. All right, so now once your chart is ready, the minimum formatting, as I said you, always go for the latest, the last one, the style one, and remove the grid lines. Okay. So this is how two pivot table, two pivot chart, both are ready. Once it is ready, do let me know. I'll proceed. Or if you have any difficulties, do let me know. All right. So I believe we are done up to this two pivot table, two pivot chart. Now keeping your cursor in the first pivot table, okay, going to pivot table analyze and then going to insert slicer. Again, nothing new. We have already done the same in the previous pivot table. Now suppose say I want to see my data based on the region. So I have selected my region slicer and I click OK. Okay. Now this one I can arrange in between this space, whatever I have designed. Okay. I take this. Now we have learned how to deal with the same, right? Now take a look when I design all these things. Just take a look. 1 minute. If I go and operate, it will be giving only the impact to my first pivot table. Any point of time I want to see the data for Canada, I can just keep it and this is showing the Canada data. What's the point of doing this in this format? Doesn't help, isn't it? So here, why it is happening? Why it is happening? Because this slicer is connected to this pivot table. So rest of two pivot table and pivot chart is now remaining idle. So there is no point of presenting our data in this format. So what you can do, just say, select the slicer with the slicer name, right click on that, and there is a beautiful option over here, naming called report connections. So once you go for report connections over here, it will take you to a dialog box having all these pivot tables, whatever we have created, listed over here. And technically, whichever the pivot is connected to that slicer, that checkbox alone is on. So whatever the below pivot table number checkbox, if you see, this is remain just as it is. You have to only activate this. So similarly, multiple pivot tables, if you have, you want to connect, you can keep on selecting all this pivot table data. So since we have only this two pivot table, we have connected two and click OK. And now see the beauty. Any point of time I want to see the data of UK. This is UK data. If I want to see Africa, this is what Africa data. If I want to see Switzerland, this is the Switzerland data. Can you see now? Looks good. More or less, it is giving a kind of a feel of our BI model, right? So this is how people, whenever there's a need, how to work around with multiple pivot tables. We have understood that. Check it out. All these things are working. Trust me, again, these things people see only in Power BI. Nobody prepared these things in the Excel and showcase the things. That's why definitely when you do it, they will be very surprised. Hope it is helpful. Any difficulties, any questions from anybody?
That is working, Thomas.
Yeah. Right. So kindly save all your workbooks, people. So this is how taking your live data, you can keep practicing. Okay. Any challenges you face, you can very well drop me a mail with your data. I will help you out whether it is possible in pivot. If yes, then what are the options? You should take it. I'll guide you. Don't worry. But you got to practice all this thing because in training, as I told you, it seems like a fairy tale. But to get a hang on those topics, you have to practice. All right. Fine. So any doubt, any queries in this pivot section, whatever we discussed? All right. Right. So kindly close everything. And now the time has come, as I told you during the last week, that we are going to discuss our Office 365 function, the father of all the lookup functions called XLOOKUP. All right. So I'll just close this recording over here, else it will not give it properly.